Hi, I'm Lee Iridium. Hope everyone's doing all right today. It's album review time. I've got a big one for you today. It's Black Swan and Generation Mind, the sophomore effort. So this hard rock band, supergroup if you like, consists of the brilliant Robin McAuley on vocals. Hasn't skipped a beat. I can even go as far to say he sounds better on this album than I've ever heard him throughout his career, and that's just amazing. We've got Red Beach on the guitar, excellent guitarist, Winger, Whitesnake, just amazing guitarist. He is exceptional on this album throughout. You've got Jeff Pilson on the bass, Dokken, The End Machine, so much other stuff he's been involved with. A brilliant bass player, perhaps one of the best bass players ever. Just a brilliant musician. The tone on his bass is superb on this album. That's one thing I want to talk about a bit later. And you've got Matt Starr on the drums. Just does an absolutely fantastic job throughout this album. All of these guys are top-notch musicians in their field. Amazing work throughout this album. I'm blown away by this album. Is it better than the first one, their first album? Yes, it definitely is. It's better than their debut album. Without a doubt, I enjoyed this much more. And there's a few reasons for that. I think the songs, it's better songwriting for a start. I think the songwriting's really solid on this album. I think that they've dropped a little bit of their bluesier side, which they've got some throughout this album, but this is more of a hard rock album, more than a hard rock blues album, if you know what I mean. I think there's more elements of that in the first album. And I'm not a massive fan of that bluesy type stuff, but this is the perfect balance of hard rock with a little bit of blues mixed in, but not too much, and that's what makes it absolutely perfect. This is coming out on April the 8th on Frontiers. So like I said, compared to Shake the World, which is a great album by the way, made my top albums, this I think blows it out of the water. The whole album written by McAuley, Pilson and Red Beach, and like I said, the songwriting, man, the songwriting is just so solid on this album. It's a brilliant album. It's produced by Pilson, obviously. Jeff Pilson, man, he's a great bass player. You know, since I was a kid growing up, I'm listening to Jeff Pilson, Dokken, you know, first of all, and he's just an amazing bass player. And his bass sounds fantastic on this album. The way it rumbles in the mix in some of these songs, it just blows my mind. It really stands out, but never obviously, you know, it doesn't drown out the guitar or anything. It's there. The album doesn't even sound too bassy. It's just right. But that rumble under the mix is just perfect. I do run through my favourite tracks, and there's a lot to talk about. There's nothing to dislike on this album. It's either good or excellent. It really is. And it's really weird. The singles are superb. The two singles that have been released so far are really good, but that gives you a taste of the brilliance that's elsewhere on this album that's even better in some cases. So we start off with a little intro, 1 minute and 12 seconds, and it leads into the first track. The amazing song, She Hides Behind. This is a sort of a medium to fast-paced rocker. Straight away, the heavy rock groove from the band is so evident that they possess such a brilliant groove throughout this album. And it's in full swing straight away. This is a real riffy track that sort of explodes straight out of the gate. An amazing, I would say, Sunset Strip, sort of shout it out loud, slightly sleazy chorus, hits so hard, and it gives you that sort of warm, fuzzy feeling straight away that something special is going to come for the rest of this album. Red Beach's solo on this is just fantastic. I love it straight away. Got a bit of a bluesy touch to this solo. You can feel it throughout, and McAuley is just top notch. I mean, all the way through the album. On this one, he does this sort of screaming bit in the chorus every time there's a chorus, and it's just mind-blowing. Amazing song to start. The next track I want to talk about is the first single and the title track, Generation Mind. What a brilliant song. That groove is so evident here again. I love the melodic guitar in that bridge to the chorus. And of course, there's another stunning chorus like there is throughout this album. What an infectious track. It just gets better and better every time I hear this one. I mean, I loved it when I first heard it, but the more I listen to it now, it just blows my mind. The next track I want to talk about is the other single, the recent single, Eagles Fly. So this has more of a bluesy feel here, a bit more like the first album, I would say, especially in the rhythm section of this song. I love that riff just before the verse kicks in, right at the beginning of the song. Again, Macaulay is outstanding as he soars over these hung out riffs on this song before once again we get to the chorus and it's melodic as hell once again. Great song. The next song I want to talk about is See You Cry. After a short, clean guitar intro, we get an excellent Dokken inspired riff. The bass just rumbles along whilst it breaks into sort of almost AC/DC minor key riff that hits out in the verses. An absolutely stunning 80s inspired bridge to the chorus, almost Def Leppard-esque when they were better. Obviously when Def Leppard were good. It leads to an outstanding chorus once again. This is brilliant stuff, guys. It's fun, it's catchy, and they sound like a band. That's the most important thing. You know, whether you say it's a band or not, whether they're going to tour or not, I don't know. But this album really sounds like a band. It doesn't sound like a project that's been put together. It sounds like a rocking band. The next track I want to talk about is Miracle. Wow. Just wow. This is brilliant. A classic metal galloping riff starts this off, and it leads into one of the standout tracks, I would say, on offer on this album. Jeff Pilson's bass line sounds huge in this mix, rumbling in the bottom end. Some great harmonizing vocals just take the chorus to a great melodic rock height. Red Beach's solo is just top notch, technical, and always melodic. The next song I want to talk about is Long Way Home. This is a brilliant hard rock track that again has Pilson's bass just rumbling all the way through it. Some great guitar melodies in and out from Beach. It's a great upbeat track that has some very cool classic heavy rock vibes. They run right through it and it's just topped off by another standout chorus. Solo, it's jaw-dropping, it really is. I love the solo on this track, although I love every one of them. The next song I want to talk about is Crown. This has a bit of a Van Halen riff, sort of kicking it off, and then turns into an absolutely brilliant mid-pace stomping track. It's like a medium paced, a bit slower on this one. Excellent stomp, obviously proceeds into another big chorus. Great stuff. The next track I want to talk about is Wicked This Day. So this song is all about Red Beach's frenetic guitar work, almost Whitesnakey, maybe from his time in Whitesnake. The song is brilliant, as everyone is on this album, but great song structure. The songwriting is brilliant on this. It's energetic. There's a catchy chorus, but the guitar work on here is the thing that grabbed me all the way through this one. And the last track I want to talk about is the last track on the album, I Will Follow. What a track to end the album. It's a slow to medium paced song, probably the most epic sounding track and the perfect song to end on. I love an epic sounding track. The perfect pace, like I said, it's like got a slow to medium pace that almost has a slight classic metal feel in places, this song, and it's sort of entwined with an almost modern rock chorus. An absolutely storming track to end on. So guys, I was really excited about hearing this album. I loved the first album, Shake the World. I thought it was great, but this just takes that and ramps everything up, tightens everything. The songwriting is brilliant. The drumming is fantastic. The bass guitaring is just amazing. The guitaring obviously is just out of this world. And of course, Macaulay's vocals are just standout. And like I said, I'm not joking. I think it's one of the best performances I've ever heard him put to record. So this is great, guys. This is totally guaranteed. It's coming out on Frontiers on April the 8th. You got to get this one. It will blow your mind. You will love it. Get it. Tell me what you think in the comments below if you're going to get it, and I'll see you next time.